there, my name is Allison Shelley, and I'm the Children's Outreach Coordinator at Reed Memorial Library. We've all found ourselves in a new normal recently, and this new normal for many of us includes extra technology use. You may be helping your kids complete their schoolwork on Google Classroom. You may be working from home. Hey, Chip. In any event, just being at home, practicing social distancing, probably leaves you and your family with more time to spend on devices and media than you had before. So you may be wondering, how can I handle my kids' new normal in terms of technology use? And if my kids are going to be using technology more, how can I make sure that they're using it in the best, highest quality capacity? Well, I have compiled some resources to help you answer those questions. Now, of course, every family, every person, every child needs to make these kinds of decisions on their own, but there are lots and lots of resources out there to help you get started, and that is what I want to share with you today. So I want to start addressing our new normal with all of the technology. An opinion article published just yesterday in the New York Times was titled, "Don't Freak Out About Quarantine Screen Time." This opinion article provides links to some research that shows there's a lack of findings that screen time has deleterious effects on children and learning and their social abilities. A quote from the article: "The available science shows there isn't a firm right amount of screen time, and that more active forms of screen time, like cooperative and team-oriented video games, can actually have positive effects on our mental well-being." So this is just the tip of the iceberg in what we can do to embrace the new normal and embrace a more frequent use of technology. One great resource you can always turn to is the Family Online Safety Institute. They published a blog post on March 17th about good digital parenting while staying at home. They offer 3 key points that they go into a little more detail about, but those points are: make sure you talk with your kids, set ground rules and enforce consequences, and be a good digital role model. Now, these are all tips for making sure your kids are being good digital citizens and are using their screen time appropriately and not abusing it. Now, again, what is appropriate screen time? How much screen time is appropriate? That really, in my opinion, is something to be decided on a person by person, family by family basis. But these tips are a good place to start. Now, a lot of people have relied on the American Academy of Pediatrics guidelines for screen time for children. They did update these guidelines in the last few years, and they issued a page of tips in May 2018 that seemed to suggest they endorse striking a balance between screen time and other activities. Some of my personal favorite tips from that list are: screen time doesn't have to be alone time. As a parent, you don't need to just monitor what your kids are doing with their devices. You can interact with them, join in on their games, join in with them in reading an ebook or listening to an audiobook. Learn how to engage on a social media app that your kids are using. Go ahead and interact with them either through the digital media or in the real world. And of course, the other tip that really resonated with me was make sure, whenever possible, that you're choosing high quality media. In my opinion, this especially goes for younger kids, where the parents have more control over what kind of media the kids are engaging with. There are many great resources out there, many great apps, movies, books, places to find this media, and I would highly suggest looking into that and making sure that your kids have some high quality media to choose from. Two other sources you can use to find the latest recommendations or a compilation of recommendations, policy, etc., are the American Psychological Association and the website Common Sense Media. We're going to talk more about Common Sense Media in a little bit, but I highly recommend commonsensemedia.org for all of your media questions and parenting advice. It's a great site. Another aspect of your new normal that you may be struggling with is how do you support your kids when they're using Google Classroom? Well, I just want to point out that Common Sense Media has a great FAQ called The Parent's Ultimate Guide to Google Classroom. And after this presentation, I will share a list of links to all of the things that I reference. And I highly suggest if you're having any trouble with Google Classroom or you're just struggling to understand what it is and how the kids use it and how the teachers use it, that you take a look at that guide. So you've resigned yourself to the fact that there will be more screen time, that kids will be using technology more, that it's just an inevitable fact of this strange time we're in right now. So how do you make sure that your kids have access to high quality media? How do you evaluate it? What tools do you use? Well, first, I suggest visiting commonsensemedia.org. Their site lists reviews on all sorts of media, such as books, movies, TV shows, apps, and video games. You'll see reviews and ratings written by parents and also sometimes written by kids, and they will explain to you how the media is rated in different categories, such as positive values or violence and scariness. This is a great resource for the parents of voracious readers, for example, whose kids want to devour every book that they come across, but you're struggling to keep up and you need to know what the content of these books are. Or maybe you have a reader who reads above their grade level and you want to make sure the content of the books they're reading is appropriate. This is a great resource to use. But again, talking about our new digital normal, it's a great resource to find movies to enjoy as a family or apps to download on your tablet. They'll give you good reviews, they'll let you know which ones are great and which ones you can skip. And you can make that decision on your own as well based on the criteria they judge the media on. Common Sense Media also offers a lot of advice, articles, lists, tips on a variety of topics for parents. They offer advice on screen time, social media, cyberbullying, just to name a few. So if you find yourself wondering what to do in a certain situation, especially right now when digital usage is heightened, is more common, and you want to find some advice on what to do, how to help your kids, try looking at commonsensemedia.org. Another great resource for evaluating high quality material for youth is the American Library Association, specifically their Association for Library Service to Children. The American Library Association has been evaluating media for a very long time, and they're good at it. The Association for Library Service to Children division puts out notable lists, so notable books for children and so on each year. And they have a notable digital media 2020 list, which shows all different digital media like apps that have been determined to be of high quality based on their standards. Of course, you can always look to Reed Memorial Library for quality materials. We still, although our library is not open physically, you still have access to all of our digital materials with your library card. We offer two main digital services. One is called Overdrive, and you may access Overdrive through an app called Libby. Overdrive is great for finding ebooks, magazines, and audiobooks. We also offer a service that is called Hoopla. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Hoopla because I really like the fact that the media you can find on Hoopla is always available. There are no holds lists. If it's on Hoopla, it's available to anyone, to any number of people. So it's kind of a nice place to start. Hoopla is great for not only ebooks and audiobooks, and in fact, that's probably their weaker collection. Their stronger collections are in movies, TV shows, and music. Specifically for children, elementary age children, younger children, Hoopla provides what I like to call book movies, which are little productions put out by Weston Woods or Dreamscape, most notably, where a book is taken, the illustrations are recorded and sometimes lightly animated, and the book is read, not like a storytime fashion, but more like a movie. There are sound effects and voices, and so in this way the book is turned into a movie. And Hoopla offers a ton of titles in their book movie category, and right now Hoopla is offering something really cool called bonus borrows. So normally when you log into Hoopla with your library card, you can only borrow so many items per month. At Reed Memorial Library, you can usually only borrow 10. Right now, because everybody's stuck at home, we've increased that to 20 per month. But still, you could find yourself running out of borrows. But Hoopla has introduced what collections that they call bonus borrows, which don't count against your total for the month. So if you borrow something from the bonus borrows collection, it doesn't take away from your 20 borrows of the month. And included in my list of resources is a whole list of these book movies that are in the bonus borrows collection. So you can borrow them, watch them, and not even use any of your Hoopla borrows. But Reed Memorial Library has also compiled a list on their website of a lot of different companies and places that are offering paid-forward subscription services for free right now because of coronavirus. You can visit that link. It will be on the resources page to see what you can find for free that you would normally have to pay for. And of course, it's all digital media. A lot of book publishers that offer ebooks are offering them for free right now. So take a look at that link. And then, of course, one great way to engage in digital media with your family is to watch a virtual story time. You can extend the activities after you watch the story time. You can sing and dance along if there are activities presented. So I have to go ahead and mention our Reed Memorial Library virtual story times. You can find them on Facebook every Wednesday and Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Our library staff, Miss Haley and Mrs. Young, provide story time pretty much just like they would in the library. So be prepared to listen to stories and also get up and dance, sing, and learn along with them. If you're looking for some other great stories to listen to in storytime fashion, I have to recommend Storyline Online. It's a SAG-AFTRA Foundation project, and they bring in celebrities, actors and actresses, to read picture books. There have been some really great ones on there, and they actually animate the illustrations of the book as well, especially in the newer videos that they've posted. So it's kind of a cross between a book movie and the story time. And last but not least, readbrightly.com is a great site for book recommendations for kids, parenting tips, everything related to literacy and kids. And Brightly offers Brightly Storytime, where their Storytime leader reads books aloud to children. So, in closing, I just want to reiterate that everything that I've found really pushes the idea that right now, because things are so uncertain, because life has changed so much for so many of us, now is not the time to enforce rigorous screen time rules or be super worried about kids engaging with digital media. You know, stay smart, keep your tips about keeping your kids safe, making sure they engage with high quality media as often as possible, and find those resources to help you out when you're trying to figure out what they're doing. So I hope the resources sheet will help you. I hope it will help you make some decisions in a time when making decisions is probably harder than it has ever been. And we at Read Memorial Library are here to support you in any way that we can. So please reach out. We have live chat on our website now from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Feel free to email the library, or you can email me directly at ashelley, SHELLEY, at readlibrary.org. Or you can send an email to the Children's Department, childrens@readlibrary.org, if you have any questions. It was great to get to talk to you again, and I'll see you next Tuesday for our next edition of Tech Tuesdays. Have a great week.